Good day, everyone. Before we begin, let me share something important. In sports, we often focus on the highlights, the spikes, the blocks, and the winning points. But behind every exciting rally is discipline, respectful rules, and the ability to pause when needed. Volleyball teaches us not only how to play hard, but also how to play fair. Interruptions like timeouts and substitutions may seem small, but they are the moments where strategy, teamwork, and the discipline shine. Today, we'll explore how these interruptions are managed because knowing when to stop and reset is just as powerful as knowing when to attack. Let's start with the basics. Our topic is regular game interruptions in volleyball. These interruptions are built into the game to keep it organized and fair. The two main types are timeouts and player substitutions. Timeout give teams a chance to breathe, regroup, and plan their next move. Substitutions allow fresh players to enter, bringing new energy or adjusting strategy. Without these interruptions, the game would be chaotic and the players would have no chance to recover or adapt. So, think of interruptions not as delays but as opportunities, moments where coaches and players can reset and strengthen their performance. In volleyball, interruptions are not random. They follow strict rules. Only the coach or the team captain can request them, and they must use the proper hand signal. This ensures that the referee and everyone on the court knows exactly what is happening. Requests can only be made when the ball is out of play and before the whistle for service. This prevents confusion and keeps the flow of the game intact. Even substitutions before the start of a set are allowed. For example, imagine this. If anyone could call for a timeout at any moment, the game would constantly stop. Unfairness would be lost. That's why volleyball limits who can request interruptions and when they can be made. It's about keeping order while still giving teams the chance to adjust. Now, let's talk about sequence. In volleyball, a team can request one or two timeouts and one substitution in succession, without the game needing to resume in between. This makes efficient. Teams can make adjustments quickly without dragging the match out. However, there's a clear restriction. A team cannot make consecutive substitution requests during the same interruption. This prevents abuse of the role and keeps the game moving. Still, multiple players can be substituted during one interruption, as long as it's done in succession, one pair after another. For example, think of it like this. The roles allow flexibility, but they also set boundaries. Coaches can change their lineup, but they must do it in an orderly way. This balance ensures the interruptions serve their purpose, helping the team without turning into unnecessary delays. Sports teach us discipline, teamwork, and respect for rules, and that's what my part highlighted today. With that, I'll now pass the screen to Miss Isagre, who will guide us through the next section of our lesson.
Hello everyone, I am Florlisa Isagre and I am going to discuss the timeouts and player substitution. So first we have timeouts and the duration is 30 seconds. So every timeout, whether it is requested by the coach or given as a technical timeouts, always lasts for only 30 seconds. So these short breaks allows the team to rest, plan or adjust their strategies. So next we have player go to free zone near the bench. So when timeout starts, all players who are currently playing must move to free zone near their own team bench, so they cannot stay inside the court. This helps maintain orders and gives space for the coach to talk to them clearly. So next is applies to technical timeouts too. So these rules are same for technical timeouts. So even if timeout is not asked by the coach, the duration is still 30 seconds and player must stay in the free zone near the bench. So let's proceed to player substitution. So player substitution must happen in the substitution zone. So this specific area where player enter and leave or exit the court. So this rules keeps the substitution organized and avoid confusion during the game. So next, we have must be quick record plus entry or exit. This substitution should not take long. It should only take time needed to record the change on the score sheet and allow the players to enter and exit the court. So this process must be fast so it does not delay the game. So next we have substitutes must be ready or the team will gets delay sanction. So when a coach requests substitution, the substitute player must already be standing near the substitution zone, ready to enter. So if the player is not ready, the referee will not allow the substitution, and the team will receive a delay sanction for slowing down the game. So the last one, we have multiple substitution. So coach must signal the number. So if the coach wants to substitute more than one player, he or she must show the number of substitutions at the same time of the request. So the player will then be substituted one pair at a time. So in order to keep the process clear and smooth. So that's all for my part, and I hope you understand, and God bless us all.
So now let us move on to the improper request. So when is a request improper? So first is during a rally. So kung nagdula pa din napay bola nga galihok, so dili ka pwede ma-time out ana. At the moment of or after the whistle to serve. Kung gi-whistle na para mag-serve, late na ang request. Then, a request is improper by someone not authorized. So, of course, kung dili coach or game captain ang ni-request, so dili siya valid. Player substitution, pero wala pa na continue ang game gikan sa previous substitution sa same team. Then, of course, kung na-exhaust na nila ilang authorized timeout or substitutions, like kung humana ilang limit o niya ma-request pa, that is also an improper request. First, improper request na dili makadelay sa game kay simply reject lang, no punishment. And then repeated improper request. So considered delay, meaning nanay penalty. So we are done on the improper request. So let's move on to the types of delays. So number one is delaying a substitution. So, of course, kung dugay kayo ilistan ang player. Then, prolonging interruptions. Ipasabot, meaning ano niya is, ipasabot sa referee nga padayon na, pero they still waste time. Muna siya, prolonging interruptions. The number 3 is illegal substitution. Illegal substitution means nga ga-request og substitution nga dili allowed. So number 4 is repeating an improper request. So balik-balik og sayop nga request. 5 is delaying the game by any team member. So bisan unsang action nga makapadugay sa duwa, like di pa mo duwa or late mo prepare, that's also one of the types of delays. And then I think we're done on the types of delays, so let's move on to the sanctions for delays. So, like ang meaning niya ani is kung like for example kung ang team pirmi maglangan, so naa siya consequences. So, number one is delay warning. First offense, warning lang sa team, then naka-record na sa score sheet. Number two is delay penalty. So, second offense o sunod pa, equivalent to lose or rally. So maka-points ang ang kontra. Then any team member pwede maka-cause ani. Number three is sanctions stay for the whole match. So, once na kay warning, hangtod matapos ang match, so, dala gihapon na ang record. Number four is if penalty happens between sets. So, i-apply yapon na siya sa next set. So, I think that is all in my part, and I hope you guys learned something, and thank you also for watching.
Good day everyone, I am Joshua Ann Galagar. This time I will be discussing the important rules about game interruptions, intervals, and court changes in volleyball. These rules help make the game fair, organized, and safe for all players. Let me start with exceptional interruptions. First, we have injuries. When a player gets injured, the game stops and the medical assistance is allowed. The injured player is given a maximum of 3 minutes to recover, and this can only happen once in a match. If the player cannot continue after the 3 minutes, the team is considered incomplete and must make the necessary adjustment. Next is external interference. This happens when something outside the game affects the rally. For example, a ball from another court enters the space or a person interrupts the play. When this happens, the rally is replayed to keep the game fair. We also have prolonged interruptions. If the delay is less than 4 hours, the match can continue or the set may be replayed depending on the situation. But if the interruption lasts 4 hours or more, the entire match is replayed from the beginning. Now let's move to intervals and court changes. For intervals, there is 3-minute break between each set. Between the second and third sets, this break may be extended up to 10 minutes if needed. These intervals give players time to rest, strategize, and prepare for the next set. For court changes, teams switch courts after every set. This ensures fairness because conditions like lightning or space might differ on each side of the court. In a deciding set, teams switch courts when one team reaches 8 points to maintain fairness throughout the game. Finally, here's the conclusion. Game interruptions followed strict rules to prevent delays and maintain fairness. Knowing these procedures helps players to stay focused, avoid its confusions, and play smart. Understanding these rules is important not only for athletes but also for coaches, officials, and spectators. Once again, this is Joshua Ann Galagar. Thank you for listening.